Litecoin and Bitcoin update. What's up, everybody? Taking a look at Litecoin here, where we might be headed, and then we're going to take a look at Bitcoin, see where we might be headed. And also in Bitcoin, I want to look at a possible pattern that could be forming, could be a bullish pattern. Stick around.
1, 2, 3, go!
All right, guys, as always, I want to start out by saying I'm not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice. This is my opinion and my view of the market only. And if you're doing any investing or any trading in this market, I suggest you do your own due diligence and your own research, as this market can be extremely volatile and risky. I hope everyone's having a good day today, and wanted to say, if you haven't already or you're new here, please hit the subscribe button in the lower right-hand side of the screen to get you subscribed. Tick the little notification bell to get you notified when I post new videos. And if you would, leave your comments below. Let me know what you think of the video, what you think Litecoin and Bitcoin might be doing. And give it a giant thumbs up if you like the content. And let's get into the charts. So looking at this channel, the rising channel that Litecoin has been in, we popped out, came back in. And as you can see, guys, I'm going to make this quick video. I'm starting out on the 4-hour. I'm going to look at my targets here and why I have them there, and also the low target for the bearish scenario. So I'm going to look at the 4-hour RSI that we've been watching. And as you can see, let me zoom in so you guys can see it. As you can see, I'd said, you know, we got in support. If we fell through, might have a sell-off. Fell through and come back up, and I said we would probably test this for support to keep an eye on it, guys. And if we broke through, then we would be coming up to test the top of the symmetrical triangle for support. And I believe that's where we're headed now, guys. So, and if that does break, I believe we will have a larger move up. So let's take a look at the daily, see what that looks like. And we have the rising wedge in the daily. As you can see, we have gotten support down here, gotten support. And if you remember the other day, we ticked through, came down on the bottom in the daily, and I had said to watch, because when the daily ends, we could pop back in, and that's exactly what we've done. So I'm looking for a higher move up, touch the top of this. So if you guys are following along or doing your own charting, which I do suggest, definitely watch the RSI here, guys. It definitely gives us a better view of what's going on, in my opinion. And I try to keep this simple without all the noise of all the indicators and all the other stuff people use. So I think it's a little more accurate the less indicators you use, and getting used to certain indicators. I'm not saying to use the same ones I use, but get good at just a few. That way you don't have a bunch of noise with a bunch of different indicators indicating different directions. So, like I said, let's look at where I got these targets so everybody's on the same page here. Yeah, so we'll start out with this $56 range. And again, guys, these numbers aren't exact. They're just estimates. So that I got off of measuring this flagpole into where we broke out. If you look, this is a bull flag here. And that is what I got. That's where I got the 56 range. So move on to the next one, would be the channel where we broke out. And even if we break out up here again, we can still use the channel for our measurement. And that is what got me up to the measured move, up to the 64.50 range. Now, the $60 target, it's between the $60 and $61 target. And that is if this here is a Adam and Eve. This would be the Adam and the Eve here, and the neckline would be right here around the 42.50. So to get that move, or to get that measurement, I took a measurement from the 42.50 down to the tip of the Adam and bring it back up, and you set it right back on the 42.50. And that's where I get the $60 to $61 range. I have 60.50 in here. So that's how I got those targets, guys. And now going to take a look at the bearish scenario. If this was a bear flag forming here and we were to break down, let me zoom in a little bit so you guys can see. Again, we're on the 4 hour. So we would do the same thing here, measure the flagpole, and then take it to, if we were to break out, and I believe we're going to continue up here to test the top of this channel again, and that'd bring us around the 49.50 area. So that would, you know, leave us to the breakout being somewhere up in this area, which, like I said, on the bullish or the bearish scenario, I look for the between the $34 and the $35 range to test the top or the bottom of this channel. And that is where I get my measurements today. But I am going to zoom into the 1 hour. Whoops. On that. I'm going to zoom into the 1 hour here and look at the EMAs and what is going on with them. And as you can see, we had a cross right over here where I used my 8, my 14, and my 21 EMA, and then this yellow one is the 55. This one here is the 200. And as you can see, we've crossed, they're all crossing, and this is just the 1 hour, guys. Let me get rid of this here. This is just the 1 hour, but usually what happens in the 1 hour carries on to the 2, 3, 4, most of the time, not all of the time. And I wanted to point something out here too in the hourly. If you guys can see this, I'll try to zoom in as far as I can. But if you notice right here, between these two candles, this candle and this candle, we had a gap here. Let me zoom in a little further so you can see it. Do you see the gap? These gaps need to be filled, and that's why I believe we come down to fill this gap, and then we should continue back up after this, after we got this gap filled. But it needs to be filled with a candle body, which this is doing right now. Just to point out to you guys, something to watch for is the gaps in the market. So as you can see, all of them are crossing here, and if we get the 55 up to cross the 200 EMA, you know, that's going to be bullish. That's going to give us our next move up. So that's where I'm looking at with Litecoin, and now I'm going to move on to Bitcoin. And again, if you guys haven't already, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Tick the notification bell to get notified when I post new videos. And also, if you would, I appreciate it if you go down below, leave your comments, and give it a giant thumbs up. I appreciate it. Really helps the channel out, guys. We're almost 500 subscribers today. It's pretty exciting. So hopefully we'll cross the 500 mark today with your help. All right, looking at the symmetrical triangle that I've had drawn here, and we've popped up out of, came back down in, and came back, tested for support, and we've been getting support on this line on the top of the symmetrical triangle. As you can see, I have targets in here also, and I'm going to show you how I got these targets. Then we're going to look at a longer term target. So first of all, let's look at the breakout of this symmetrical triangle. And we'll take it over to here. And actually, I'm going to bring this down, guys, and go off of this breakout. But that's what gets me to the $5,000 range right here. Now we are going to look at the smaller. Let's look at the smaller ones first, and then we're going to take a look at the possible bearish scenario also. I don't know why this is lagging so bad. Sorry, guys. All right. Take a look at these smaller targets here, which I do believe we're going to reach possibly this weekend, maybe into next week, within the next couple weeks anyways. It's hard. That's the hardest thing to judge is time on the charts. So right here on this measured move here, I had the breakout, measure the flagpole, and come up to the top of here, and that is where I got the 42.50 range target here. And then we have obviously the 43.50 range, and that is the top of this falling wedge, which is the white trend line here. And that brings us to the old support become new resistance, and that's where I get the 43.68 range. Now for the longer term target possibility is, if you look at this blue line here, it's actually, yeah, this blue line here across the $41.75 range. Now what it looks like is another Adam and Eve, and to do a measured move on the Adam and Eve, we measure from that neckline to the bottom of the Adam, and then we bring it over back to the neckline over here. If we were to break out up into these areas, and that's, I believe, if we break out, get rejection here, and then we come back down and look for support, and then that's what would bring us up to these higher targets. But that, if that Adam and Eve was to break out, that would bring us up to the 5200 area, which is old support right here. So that's where I get those targets, guys. And now I am going to show you the bearish scenario. If we were to break down from here, the same thing, do another simple measured move, and then we'll zoom into the 1 hour and look at the EMAs on this also. As you can see, we're battling with all the EMAs clustered right here, right now. But let's do the measured move from the flagpole here. We were to, you know, come up in this area and break down from here. I do have this as my lowest target as of right now, the $32.50 to $3,300 range. But I do believe that we will get support somewhere around the $3,500 range on the bottom of this, the bottom of the symmetrical triangle trend line. And that's about as far as I see it going down, but we really need to watch that area. Now I'm going to go into the RSI, guys, and look at the 4 hour. And as same as in Litecoin, we broke down through here, and I believe we'll come up to test. I'm going to extend this line now, but I believe we'll come up to test this again, and if we break through, then, you know, that's what would bring us to our higher levels. But obviously we'll definitely get some resistance for at least a little while here. Now I'm going to go into the daily that we've been watching, and the rising wedge that we have not fallen out of, but we really need to watch this bottom support line. If we break through, then, you know, that would obviously be the bearish scenario. But otherwise, we would be coming up, move this down a little bit, be coming up to test the top of this support or resistance on the rising wedge. So that's where I'm at with that. Now let's go into the 1 hour real quick and just look at what's going on with the EMAs out of the daily here. This is obviously, when you're looking at the one hour, it's a lot shorter term, but as you, or a lot shorter time frame. But what we're looking at here is we're getting the same thing as in Litecoin, but they haven't all crossed yet. We're trying to cross over the 21, the yellow, the 21 EMA here, with all the 8, the 14, and the 21 EMA. If those cross up, that's what I believe is going to give us our boost up to go test the 200 EMA around the 38.25 range, somewhere in there. But like I said, and then if we do break through this, I believe we come back down, test it for support. If you guys seen all this action, I want to go over this real quick from yesterday. What you see here is stop hunts. Like, just to give you a quick explanation, if somebody was to enter a long position down over here, they probably would have set their stop loss underneath that. And that's what these do. These come down, suck their stop losses up, come back up, make them buy in higher. And now this one over here, if people on the other end of the spectrum were shorting this area, they had come right back up and they ate their shorts up and come right back down. So now we're definitely in a medium range I guess you would call it. So, but as you can see here, these EMAs are holding as support as of now. If we do break down through there, you know, then we're steering more towards the bearish scenario. But we still got to watch the top of this symmetrical triangle because it can hold as support. But yeah, guys, that's about it for today. I am still looking for more movement up, and we will see what happens. I hope everybody has a great day, and I appreciate you guys watching. Again, you can hit the Crypto Savvy logo above my head. That'll get you subscribed. Tick the little notification bell to get you notified when I post videos. Give it a giant thumbs up and leave your comments, guys. I appreciate it. Have a good day.